What are y'all looking at, bruh? Stop looking at me, bruh. I'm playing with you. Let me fix my shit. Gotta fix my shit. Oh my God. Ah! It's a pimp down. Pimp down. I gotta fix my shit. Actually, we can put it on this side. That can make a lot more sense. But I got just hold on, y'all. Should have been had us together before I got started. But you know how I am. I better late than never. Bring this forward. See, look at this handsome young fella. Hi guys, how's it going? Oh shit. Ah! Ha! Don't play. Alright. Let me stop bullshitting around, bro. Monster packets in my pocket. You want one? Damn, boy, fat motherfucker always got. God damn, son. Got all them shits in there, boy. Hell no. Crazy. That's just wild. Let me turn this on. Actually, turn it off because we're not using it right now. All right. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? What the hell am I supposed to? What the fuck? What the? Ah! I forgot to do both at the same time. Whatever. Fuck it. All right. Welcome to my place. Welcome to my place. Welcome. Ooh! The road was crazy. Hey, you remember Pixar? He technically turned side. Actually, I gotta do this shit right. Hold on. He didn't really bet. Well, actually, kind of did. Cause he operating on a spring. Anyway, fuck it. Moving forward, this your boy Bruce. Ow, motherfucker, that shit hurt. Son of a bitch. God damn, that shit hurt. Hit my leg on the leg of the piano. Fuck. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna put a bullet in it later. No, I'm joking. Cause I don't want to. Are you actually gonna put a bullet in the piano? No, I need to fucking play it today. Alright, let me get started with this damn video. Alright, this is your boy Bruce Leroy. Today, so let's talk about yesterday real quick, why I didn't stream. I had other more important shit to do, so I had to like literally use my time judiciously. So we're kind of backed up just a little bit, but hopefully today we're able to catch up. And so here's what we're going to do. We went through round 1 already. Oh, and also, yeah. So before I say what I'm going to say. So first off, follow me here on this Twitch at It's Bruce Leroy BIH. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I am Bruce Leroy. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at I am Bruce Leroy. And that's it. Okay? And TikTok is Bruce Leroy BIH. Twitch, excuse me, is I'm Bruce Leroy BIH. Okay? So that is my handle. That's my. Now you see me? How you doing? You saw me anyway. All right. So we went through round 1. I believe we went through the second and third round, which that was day 2. We did not go over the 4th through 7th round. The Eagles probably had their least amount of draft picks in like the last, 3 to 4 years. This was like the briefest for the Eagles. For the Eagles? Dick sucking that nigga. But nah, let me. The fuck wrong with me? Hold on. Wait a minute. Bring it back. Over here. Over there. Okay. Let me get serious. Let me act like I fucking talk too. That'd be nice, bitch. All right. Let me. What the fuck is wrong with me, son? Yo. All right. Let me get serious. So, reiterated what I just said and trying to do it quickly because I already technically said that I said it already. So we went through round 1, rounds 2 and 3, which was day 2. 2 motherfucker, 2. Learn to speak English, 2 motherfucker. He said D motherfucker. He said Mickey Ficky. Okay, so. What the fuck is... I can't even get started with this damn video, son. Alright. Round 2, which was... No. Day 2, which was rounds 2 and 3 went over. Rounds 4 through 7, we have to go over today, as well as the undrafted free agents. Now, some of them I know about, others I don't. So we're going to watch a video to find out today. And then we're going to play some piano, and that's going to be it. So we'll try to spend an hour or so. We'll try to spend an hour or so getting my shit together. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to talk about the undrafted free agents. So here's the thing, okay? So first and foremost, I was arguing with people. So if y'all don't know, she says, like, what is her name? Hold on. I don't feel like getting my goddamn phone. We got Google for a reason. Use the shits. I don't know. What is that girl that's now on the Joe Budden podcast? Joe Budden podcast cast. Joe Budden's cast for his podcast. Hopefully nobody's in the cast. We can all get cash and every damn that print out incognito. What are we looking for? Joe Budden's cast. Probably said it wrong. Who the fuck is Parks Valley? Engineer. Mona, don't call me. So her name is Mona. I don't know why the hell I didn't remember that. But she was on there on a podcast talking about how, you know, she don't want AJ Brown to leave. And just reiterating what I'm about to say. I actually want AJ Brown to stay in Eagle for the rest of his damn career. That's legitimately what I want. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit up there and like get upset about some shit that I actually can't control. Does that make sense? So it's like if he leaves, it's just, oh well, it is what it is. I'm not going to, if you don't want to fucking be around, I'm going to be like, god damn. I ain't going to lie, I might shed a tear. I might shed a tear at him leaving. I might. But I'm not going to be like, oh my God, of course, repossessed, motherfucker. I got to catch the bus from here on out, son of a bitch. No. If he leaves, and it just is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, what was I trying to say? Yeah. So here's the thing. I actually overreacted. So you guys know that I went on for those that are here. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself so myself can hear. So the rest of y'all can hear because maybe, I don't know, somebody will hear outside of just my own ears. Anyway, moving forward with that. So I was very pissed off and upset when Howie Roseman neglected. He still should have got a solid safety, which we're going to talk about. Matter of fact, that just reminded me. Yeah. So Eagles draft 2026. Fullest in. That's not gonna fucking help. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. So while I was having a brain fart, I was very pissed off. I was very vocal about how we, like, number one, regardless if it was the first round or not, which Diego, I still stand by the fact that Diego Thieneman should have been the pick here, and not a wide receiver. But if AJ Brown is leaving, and it's crazy because under the same post, because I was like, why the hell did I mention the Mona thing? This is the real reason why I mentioned it. The real reason I mentioned the Mona situation about her being on a podcast speaking about it, because there were people on my fucking comment section talk about, so you don't know football. Motherfucker, everybody named Mama knows that Makai Lemon is there to replace AJ Brown. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Nobody drafts a fucking talent like Makai Lemon. You draft need in the first round. You draft the best player for your need in the first round. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? You say, I don't know football? You motherfuckers don't know anything outside of Super Semming Matt, and you fucking idiots. How the hell are you going to tell me I don't know football? Everybody they mama know you don't take a receiver like that. Okay? And on top of that, you got to look at what we had to give up. You must think that we're fucking trying to do Madden Ultimate Team where we're trying to have, like, we got Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin, and then we need Chris Carter in the fucking slot. What are we talking about here? That's not how the fuck you're supposed to draft. Everybody knows you draft players on your team based upon what you actually need. Like, the best player for your actual need. So if you need O-lineman the most, you're going to draft the best offensive lineman. Like, if you need a tackle, whatever the case, maybe you're going to draft the best tackle on the board. Isn't that fucking common sense? Apparently not to the entirety of the world. But people telling me I didn't know football, and he was like, yeah, Makai just going to play the slot. Okay, I'll give you this. And this is maybe a small percentage, okay? Let's just say AJ does not get moved this year. Yeah, I can see Makai playing the slot. But here is the kicker. And it's no good, motherfucker. Double doink. Somebody's going to get cut because here's the thing. Hollywood Brown is more than capable of playing the third wide receiver position. Wicks is more than capable of playing the wide receiver 3 position. Darius Cooper, and I hate what the fuck is being done to him. I really don't like it. I've spoken at lengths about how I feel about how the Eagles are treating Darius Cooper. But this is really more or less of Sean Mannion's doing, but they're allowing him to do this shit. I don't like it. But it's not my team. It is my team, but I'm not in charge of making a decision. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. Hopefully, if he gets cut, he'll just ball the fuck out somewhere else so somebody be able to see his value. But here's what I will say. You got too many guys that can play the slot. Okay? You got 2 guys for sure that are more than capable of playing the slot. In fact, Wicks might even be at least a wide receiver too if we being all the way genuine. You don't get all those guys to say, oh yeah, AJ Brown is not going to be moved. Even if it's not this year, it's most certainly going to be next year. But we drafted him just in case, okay, if AJ is out of here, we have a 1 and 2 in Devontae Smith and Makai Lemon. By the way, Makai Lemon can play a number 1 in other organizations as well. Now, obviously, time will tell if he can actually do it, but based upon what I've seen, the sample size, and how people talk about him, I believe he's more than capable of being able to play a wide receiver 1 on 80, on a bunch of these teams, right? At least those were like the top 10 pick. Well, maybe not. Actually, yes, because, Carnell Tate. But here's the thing, okay? Howie made the right decision, and here's why. So I was to provide more context for those that just came here, wasn't there through my last streams for last week. I was like, yo, we need to go get Chris Bell. Chris Bell fits exactly what the fuck we're trying to do. Right? If you're going to let AJ leave and you're going to trade him, okay, at least bring somebody that can replace the the stature, right? And I'm not to say that Mekhi Lemon isn't physical, because he is. That's part of what he's known for. He's willing to block and put his body on the line and make those tough catches across the middle. That was part of his strengths and his scouting report. I'm not saying that, but you need a physical specimen like an Anquan Boldin, like a Drake London, somebody that's got some height and some physicality to them. That matters on a football team. And I thought that's what made the Eagles so great, is that they have that balance. I understand we're in a different kind of league where it's more of like we play with a bunch of scat wide receivers, so it's a bunch of, speed guys that can catch the ball and operate in space. It's more or less a spread offense. But I think it's very important to have a 1A and a 1B, to have a guy that's tall and physical and get those jump balls. And hell, if the 1B, the much more slimmer, faster guy, can get the jump balls like a Devontae Smith, that's even better. That's a luxury, but not necessarily a necessity. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm like, okay, we need to go get Chris Bell, because Chris Bell has these properties. But what I didn't realize is Chris Bell came out. What was the injury? So I could. What was Chris Bell injury? I need to know how to use my apostrophes. So it was an ACL. So you're taking a huge risk on picking a guy who can't necessarily play right away, or who might not be able to play right away. Okay? So as much as I thought, okay, if we're going to go receiver, Chris Bell makes a lot of sense, right? And on top of that, we spend the first round pick on the thing that we really need, which is either offensive lineman or safety. I would have preferred safety because, like I told you how I feel. Mukuba's not a starting safety. And I hope that I'm wrong, because, anybody on my team I want to excel. Marcus Epps is good for depth. He is not a starting safety in the league. He's good for depth purposes. Now, when he was able to get his few starts, he's a spot starter, really good second stringer at best. Marcus Epps is not a starting safety in this league. If that was the case, he would have stayed a Raider. Okay? He's not a starting safety in this league. He's a good second stringer. So our safety, and also after that, we don't have no depth. Sidney Brown, he's too raw, and I don't know if he's going to get better. I don't know if he's going to get more discipline. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to be able to turn down the motor just a little bit so he can actually play the right way. Right? Because it's nice to be physical, it's nice to be fast and quick to the ball, but you also have to be disciplined as well. I don't know if he's going to develop that part of his game. I really don't know. So we don't have no fucking safeties. We have no safety depth. So the Eneman is the perfect pick here. Okay? So I was disappointed, but now I started to realize, okay, if A.J. Brown's leaving, because my thought process was, okay, how he's doing this because of what had happened with Jalen Reagor. See, we needed a speed wide receiver versus somebody that was more or less of a slot guy. I wouldn't necessarily say possession, but more along those lines, and Justin Jefferson. Either way, the pick should have been Justin Jefferson regardless. But that was Howie's way of thinking. He revealed that in a press conference, I think shortly after Reagor's departure. He revealed that in a press conference, that he learned that, okay, just next time take the best receiver available instead of just going based off need. So I'm like, okay, I didn't really like that philosophy because I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all approach. Sometimes it's like it's good to just take what you need. You know what I mean? And I never even fucking heard of Jalen Reagor at all. And it's not this, I never heard of him, right? So we're taking a guy that's not even, it's not like you went, okay, let me go pick Ja'Marr Chase, even though he was already taken off the board. I get it. But in a hypothetical scenario, it ain't like you went with motherfucking Ja'Marr Chase versus going over with Judge. You chose a guy that was relatively like, is he even a first round talent? You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Howie made the right decision. Now, overall, we should have got a fucking safety. Whether it be Keon Scott, whether it be that dude Warren from Toledo, we should have got a safety. And right now, replacing Dallas Goedert's successor with a guy that really, his blocking is not even, he's a relatively smaller guy at 239. He's a quarterback turned tight end. And his blocking right now still needs development. That's, you're going to prioritize Goedert's successor over a safety? You're going to utilize Goedert's successor over a safety. So, I mean, in the case of, okay, we need to go get a great play. We need to do it now. Whether it be this year or next year, A.J. Brown gets moved, we have our future wide receiver 1 or 2, depends. Devontae's probably going to be number 1 because he's been here longer, but we have a guy for the future. So, in this case, based upon the new information that I came across over the weekend, I had a change of heart, and I feel like Howie made the right decision in choosing Makai Lemon. He had to. You know, you're in a position where, okay, you don't know if A.J. Brown's going to be moved this year or next year. You have to prepare for worst case scenario. You're in position to go get, if not the best wide receiver, second or third. But Makai Lemon is a yellow jacket type of player. You know, hopefully he lives up to that hype, but he's a yellow jacket type of guy. Also, some people be like, yeah, some of y'all are racist about the... No, listen. It's not my job to question. I would hope. From what I see, I think Makai Lemon seems like he's a pretty good dude. From what I see from the outside, I don't know the guy personally. Outside looking in, he seemed like he's a good guy. But, Jesus Christ, these fucking best viewers. Come on, dog. What the hell? Anyway, giving me all these dumbass websites. But anyway, just moving forward, getting back to the topic at hand. Howie made the right decision and get a Makai Lemon. You had to. You know, if you're going to go receiver in this draft, you're going to draft somebody that's supposedly replacing A.J. Brown, quote unquote. By the way, I want to mention something fucking hilarious. So Adam Schefter came out with a report that the Patriots, if he's moved after the June 1st, it's going to be a 2028 first round pick. Go lick an envelope, the sticky part, with somebody with a fucking cat's fur ball on there. Because it's not happening. It's not happening. No fucking way you're going to renege on what you thought originally. No, bitch. You just upset. And that also speaks to you not being confident in your... Like, if the report is true, which I don't see why I wouldn't believe it. Number one, okay, let's keep it all the way a stack. You're coming off with at least if you want to play that game, number one, you can't renege on your motherfucking deal. First round pick, bitch. We're not gonna give you a fucking generational talent in his prime that's gonna damn near gonna guarantee you another Super Bowl trip at the very least. Bitch, is you crazy? We're not gonna just fucking give him up for goddamn peanuts. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious right now? Hell nah. Hell no. The fuck no. No, bitch. No. It's not happening. We're not doing that. We're not going to give him up for nothing. No. So if you want to play that game, we need a 2028 first. Okay, you can play that game. You're coming away with at least a fucking second this year. You're coming away with at least a second for 2027. But really, we shouldn't let him go for if it's not a 2027 first. Period. We're not going to just... Why the fuck does everybody think we're... Why is Howie got to be stupid? By the way, I thought it was fucking hilarious how Le'Veon Bell went on the podcast. I think the guy's name is Justin LeBoy. And then he talked about Adam Gase. Adam Gase he's just fucking ass. He's trash. He was trash in Miami. He damn near ruined Ryan Tannehill's career. And then he was trash in the fucking Jets. I don't know why they even gave him the Jets job. He was fucking terrible in Miami. He was horrible in my... I never understood why the Jets... And then they made this nigga the fucking GM. They made him a GM and a head coach because nobody wanted to fucking be a general manager of that trash-ass organization. And then he was revealing some details about he was on the, you know what I'm saying, the Johnson & Johnson baby powder, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So that shit was funny, and I genuinely do believe it. And it was funny as how I see the clip of Stephen A. Smith was like, well, something's not right. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. Something's not right. Stay off the weed. It was funny as hell, but yeah, Adam Gase fucking sucks. He's trash. It is what it is with that. Okay, so we need to go to the rest of the goddamn picks. And it's not going to take that long, but the undrafted free agent stuff, we will. Okay. What? So round 5, we take Cole Payton. Howie loves grabbing a quarterback in like the latter rounds, like a guy that goes under the radar. So that means that dude from Syracuse, who let's keep it real, he was ass. His ass is gone. I forgot what his name was. I can look it up. Eagles quarterback depth chart. I still can't believe motherfucking the Cowboys was able to. Kyle McCord. Yeah, Kyle McCord was ass. Yeah, he was ass. So Kyle McCord, if he isn't, or because I think he's on a practice squad, I didn't hear about him actually getting cut or released. So Michael Morris, round 6, pick 207 for Georgia. Morris started at left guard at 2025, but primarily played right guard at 2024. He allowed just 1 sack in his collegiate career. Damn, that's pretty damn good. Round 7, 244, Cole Wazinski, some random ass fucking safety. So Howie Rose could be like, see what I did? See. And then for round 7, we got Uar Bernard, which is like the black Thanos of this motherfucker. Like, bro, I mean, shit, I look at this dude, I'm like, God damn, he gonna be, he a defensive tackle? Oh, hell nah. Man, Jordan Davis better have an Aaron Donald season, bro, because I don't know, man. That's gonna be fucking crazy, because Moro Jomo's really good, too. It's gonna be crazy. At DT? Damn, son. Damn. And in round 7, Keyshawn James Newby. So he led New Mexico with 9 sacks. Doesn't have the biggest move. Just for depth. May or may not be on this team next year. Okay, so now we're going to watch a video about the undrafted free agents so I can get more info on that. Shit. Now about Chat Sports. Okay. If I had to get his draft an overall grade, I have to give it like I'll give it a C+. And I'm being very tender. I really want to give it a C. Because there's no fucking way we don't come away with a safety that actually is capable of starting. And like I said, y'all already know my feelings on Makuba and Epps. Makuba is undersized. He got too much developing to do to be a starting safety. I'm sorry. And maybe this year, hopefully he proves me wrong. But I'm going to be honest. He ain't good enough for me, man. I'm so sorry. He just not. What else I want to talk about? They're going to get straight into it. It's like a fucking gladiator. God damn, boy.
Chevy trucks are as dependable.
And he never played football before, too. So they Warren Drake.
They don't need permission to get going. They all have that little extra something.
Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr. Coming up,
What up, Chase?
the 2026 NFL Draft has concluded. 3 days, 7 rounds, all picks in the books. And so I'm going to hand out my Philadelphia Eagles 2026 NFL Draft grades. We're going player by player, and then I'll give out a team grade as well. This show is
nigga never
presented
get no
by
sleep,
Prize
though.
Picks. And of course, as always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making this show a part of your evening or a part of your day if you're watching on Sunday. I do want to begin.
Man got more bags under his eyes than one shopping trip on Black Friday. Like, god
here.
damn, boy.
Thanks to everybody who tuned into our draft coverage. We were live all 3 days, every single pick, and we talked about every single Eagles draftee. If you're new to the channel, though, this is what we do. I cover the Eagles every single day, year-round. Grew up a diehard Eagles fan. Now I'm talking about them professionally. It's a dream come true. So hit that subscribe button. Plus, what we have built is a great Eagles community right here on YouTube, which is why we're closing in on nearly 150,000 subscribers. The Eagles first got on the board in the draft by moving up from 23 to 20 to take
We give away too much for the fucking Cowgirls.
And I was a little bit surprised by some of the backlash and the negative comments that I saw from Eagles fans when the Eagles made this move. And I think a lot of that was because it came as a surprise. But if you could put together...
No. There's backlash, and one is receiver the biggest need right now. Let's take away the fact that A.J. Brown might be leaving this year. Is this the biggest need right now? No. So that's number one. Number two, if you're going to replace A.J. Brown, this is based on his, I'm not saying skill set, based upon the physical traits as far as having size on him. He doesn't replace that. And again, it's not the biggest need right now. Safety is the biggest need. And you got to remember this. We gave the cow bitches 2 4th-round picks to literally move up only 3 spots. As if the Cowboys don't have multiple picks due to the Michael Parsons trade in Green Bay. That's why the backlash came. It's not because he's a bad receiver. He can obviously fucking play. If you watch college football, you know Mekhi Lim is a baller. Him and Jacoby Lane, both of them were very good. Both of them could play. Both of them hoopers. But Mekhi Lim is a star. That's not the problem. The problem is not his play. The problem is, do we need him on the team right now? Is that more important than adding depth to the offensive line? Is that more depth? Is that more important than getting a fucking legitimate starting safety? Because when you took Cooper DeJean, that's a legitimate starting player. When he took Quinyon Mitchell, that's a legitimate starting player. We need a legitimate starting safety. Makuba is not enough. It is not about whether or not he can. He's not enough because, in my opinion, he's not good enough. And also, that back is important. Just pay attention to the Eagles' success. Like, how the fuck can we not forget about Brian Dawkins? Okay, maybe some more Eagles safety that's not coming to my head right now. But Brian Dawkins, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, where did those guys end up having the Eagles team? Motherfucking 2017 with Malcolm Jenkins. What happens when we had at least one elite safety? We went to the Super Bowl or we won one. That was the issue. Not his talent. Not that, if we get him on our team, hell yeah, I want him to play for us. It's not his talent. It's not that, I know he can produce. I know he's going to be great for us. His physical measurables don't replace what A.J. Brown brought to the table. Doesn't. And it's not the biggest need. It can't take priority over safety. That's where the backlash came from.
A player and build them in a lab to be perfectly equipped with how they approach the game, how they carry themselves, how they play. To be an athlete and to be an Eagles player who defines what it's like to play in this city, that lab would spit out Mekhi Lemon. Toughness, swagger, confidence, goes up and gets it when the ball is in the air, picks up yards after the catch. He is a relentless competitor. He approaches the game the right way. He's all about his craft. And so I think Eagles fans are really going to grow to like and love Mekhi Lemon. Now, of course, there are
Again, not trying to interrupt him again. Nobody who watches fucking college football has said Mekhi Lemon is ass or said Mekhi Lemon can't be a difference maker. Nobody said that. It's about, again, we didn't need him. It's not priority over a fucking safe. We have our safeties are right. Makuba's not it. Sorry, but not sorry. And if he proves me wrong, I'll get up here and apologize. Makuba's not good enough. He's too fucking small, and he's not a difference maker. He needs his development margin is too fucking big to be a starting safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. You're playing in the footsteps of a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I'm not saying his game was perfect because I feel like his man-to-man coverage fell drastically down compared to 2022. Okay, but again, he was a legitimate starting safety. He knows the system. He proved that already. Okay. We need a safety more than we need a receiver, whether or not A.J. Brown gets moved or not. There's ways you can work around it. You can have the Wicks be wide receiver too, and let Cooper and Hollywood Brown fight it out to be the third wide receiver, and then one of them be the fourth, and that'll be the roster. And then maybe have John. We'll see what happens with Johnny Wilson, but come on now.
Strengths and weaknesses to his game. He's 5'11" and an eighth. He's under 200 pounds. At his pro day at USC, he ran a 4.5 after he did not run at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. But I would say, while he's not fast, he's explosive and he's quick. He was a 2025 Biletnikoff Award winner, which goes to the best wide receiver in college football. He had over 1,100 yards last year, barely drops any passes. He is a very strong and deceptive route runner, and he can win in a plethora of ways. And when the ball is up in the air, that is his rock to snatch out of the air. He goes up and gets it. And I think that type of approach and that type of energy is really contagious. And Nick Sirianni loves competitive players. That's what Mekhi Lemon is. So he's not the biggest, he's not the longest, he's not the fastest at his position, which is why I think that limits him to the slot. But I think he can be a tremendous player. And this signals that A.J. Brown is going to get traded. The Eagles moved up from 23 to 20. They traded away 2 fourth-round picks to the Dallas Cowboys in order to take Lemon. But I think right away, he's a plug-and-play player. You can put him alongside Devontae Smith as the Eagles' number 2 wideout as a rookie. And I think that he can be highly productive. I kind of think he's a combination of Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nacua, Khalil Shakir, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Body type, playing style, but also what the Eagles are going to ask him to do. Keep in mind, Sean Mannion is going to come in here with this Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan offense, and Mekhi Lemon, I think, is going to be utilized, or at least should be, like Puka Nacua is utilized by Sean McVay. Getting creative with finding ways to get him the ball. He's a willing blocker. One of the other things, too, I think the Eagles got tired of force-feeding A.J. Brown the ball. So they want weapons on offense.
Okay, Chase, you're not making no fucking sense. Anytime you have an elite receiver, you have to force-feed him the ball. That was part of, if y'all remember, Devontae Adams was saying in the press conference, when alluding to how Garoppolo plays, right? And this is crazy because if you remember all the way back to the Raider, when Randy Moss was a Raider, and I think Kyle Boller was the quarterback, and Warren Sapp was in an interview talking about how he was waiting for Randy Moss to be wide open. Obviously, you have Randy Moss on your team, he'll never be fucking wide open. You're going to have to double him, triple him in certain formations. So if you waited for him to get open, you wait for a guy like Devontae Adams, who's the best receiver on the field, outside of fucking Garoppolo trying to get Devontae Adams fucking killed into oncoming traffic. If you're waiting for him to be open, he'll never be open. You have to find those windows. And the game plan that says, ain't no fucking game plan where Steve Young and Joe Montana don't say, oh yeah, don't feed Jerry Rice the ball. Motherfucking Dante Culpepper or goddamn Tom Brady who had Randy Moss, they don't say, oh, feed him the ball. Come on now. You don't have Terrell Owens on the team or any great receiver or Chad Ochocinco for the Bengals be like, oh, yeah, we're not going to feed him. No. You're supposed to force feed. You have to. But the thing is, it's like you know, obviously the best way to do it is to spread the wealth, right? Don't just rely on one receiver. The wide receiver, you know, is you know, if there's not much room, you don't force it. But at the same time, the game plan is that no matter what, you give him the ball. You have Justin Jefferson on your team from Minnesota, you find a way to give him that motherfucking ball. No matter where you got to do, no matter how you got to move him, you find a way to give him the ball. So, in that sense, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, the relationship ran its course. Whether A.J. Brown is mad at Jalen Hurts for not developing the way he's supposed to, and I don't think Jalen's all bad, but I got to keep it real. Jalen is not necessarily playing at the level he should based upon how many years he's been in the league and the resource he has available as far as the weapons around him on both sides of the ball. He's arguably playing with the most talented roster in NFL history, outside of a missing cornerback too. And I'm gonna excuse Jurgens because I know Jurgens is a great player. It's just like he was really fucked up more than what I even imagined. I know Jurgens can play. Even when motherfuckers was trashing the fuck out of him, they trashed the fuck out of him. Even though Kelsey handpicked him himself. They trashed the fuck out of when he got drafted. I was one person, when he got drafted in the second round, that was the time I was mad as fuck because we should have had McDuffie over Jordan Davis. And like I said, don't get it fucked up. I respect the hell out of Jordan Davis, what he did. I'm just saying how I felt at the time. I actually was a proponent of using that second round pick for Cam Jurgens while other people were talking shit against it. So it has nothing to do with A.J. Brown. Every fucking wide receiver, whether they get caught on camera doing it, whether they revealed it in a press conference, every motherfucking star receiver wants that ball. Detroit, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jack Smith-Njigba. You got to feed the motherfuckers the ball. They got to get the ball in their hands. However you got to do it, that the game plan is, no matter what, it don't matter if the fucking defense knows that they were giving the ball, you find a way to give them the ball anyway. That's how this shit works. So he's not making no sense on that one.
Who are very diverse, well-rounded, and versatile. Kyle Lemon is that. The other thing, too, a lot of teams are starting to play zone defense, especially against Jalen Hurts. Over the middle of the field, with his spatial awareness of the field, he thrives and flourishes against zone. So I'm going to give the selection of Mekhi Lemon a B+ grade. It's not an A because I personally would have gone with Max Ihonachor, but he was one of my favorite players in this class. He was a top 15 player on the Eagles board, and they got him at 20. Speaking of Mekhi Lemon, I put together these shirts with our design guy, Arnold. I was thinking
it's fly. I ain't gonna lie.
Pretty culturally significant. I think Eagles fans are going to gravitate to him. Plus, the design is awesome. When life gives you to be right, show us that you know ball with pride.
And fuck prospects, nigga.
The Eagles in the second round.
Damn.
54 overall took Vanderbilt tight end Eli Stowers. Heading into this offseason, I thought that getting a tight end to develop and take over for Dallas Goedert once his Eagles career is over was paramount. It was very important. Dallas Goedert is on an expiring contract. He's been an all-time Eagle, one of the best tight ends in franchise history. But finding his replacement in this draft was vital because also this was a deep draft at the tight end position, which is why on day 2 into day 3, you saw a run of tight ends going. And Eli Stowers is a truly unique player athletically. 6'3", 3/4, 239 pounds. Last year for Vanderbilt, catching passes from Diego Pavia. He caught 62 balls for 769 yards, 12.4 average yards per catch, and he had 4 touchdowns. He won the Mackey Award for the best tight end in the country. The last few players who have won that, it includes names like Kyle Pitts, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers won it twice. So for Stowers to win that award, that's extremely impressive. As far as his game goes, he's got an athletic base. Converted quarterback with a lot of untapped potential, quality production, won a lot from the slot with seam shots, slants, and more. Might need some space to operate at the NFL level. He's going to need to work on his blocking a little bit, but I think that the upside for the player is tremendous. And the athletic testing at the combine was absolutely absurd. He ran a 4.51 40-yard dash. His vertical jump was 45.5 inches, and his broad jump was more than 11 feet. With the value and the potential of the player, also If you trade away A.J. Brown, you got to replace that production. How do you do it? 13 personnel, 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets. Get Eli Stowers on the field alongside Dallas Goedert. He's a weapon. Plus, when he's got those skills and he has that type of athleticism, you can line him up as a wide receiver from time to time. So I'm going to give this pick an A grade. Eagles back at it at pick number 68 in the 3rd round, and they took one of the more fascinating players in this draft in Markel Bell, the offensive tackle out of Miami. He's a mammoth. 6'9" and a quarter, 346 pounds. Did not give up a sack last year for a Miami team that made it to the national championship. He was protecting the blind side for Carson Beck. Francis Mauigoa got taken 10th by the New York Giants. He played right tackle. Markel Bell played left tackle. And it goes without saying, gigantic frame with a massive wingspan. Plays light on his feet, and I think he uses his length well in pass protection. And he can engulf and just bulldoze some defenders, especially when he gets to that next level. One thing for him, he's going to have to keep the weight down. And throughout his college career, he did deal with weight consistency issues. He was an extremely durable player, too. So that's a positive that he was able to stay on the field. His wingspan, 87 and an eighth. His arms, 36 and 3/8 inches. This is a one-of-one type.
I deadass still don't understand why Howie did not go re-sign fucking. That shit was a layup, and it got really nothing to do with this dude. He just more or less reminded me of to say this again. I already mentioned it, I think, on the same stream when I was talking about the 1st round. But yeah, I still to this day don't understand why Mekhi Becton is still not an Eagle. I don't understand it.
Type of athlete, and the Eagles got a couple of those guys in this draft. So with Markel Bell, a B grade. At this point, I thought there could have been better options on the board, but as a developmental player, I really like this pick. We got another quarterback for the quarterback factory. The Eagles did not pick in round 4, so they were once again on the clock in round 5, and at 178, Howie Roseman took Cole Payton. This is not threatening Jalen Hurts. You might hear that lazy narrative out there. Well, how about this? The New England Patriots drafted a quarterback. Is Drake May going to lose his job? The Commanders drafted a quarterback. Is Jane Daniels going to lose his job? The quarterback position is the most important position in all of sports. And the Eagles' top backup is Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee is on an expiring contract. He could get traded, or if he does play for the Eagles in 2026, he's going to leave after this upcoming season because he's going to get paid. So it's important to develop a quarterback. And Cole Payton is a really fascinating player. He's nearly 6'3", 232 pounds. He has a relentless work ethic. He's all about football all the time. And he is a prototypical dual threat type of quarterback. He completed 72% of his passes last year, 2,700 yards, 29 total touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. So the Eagles are bringing in a great athlete with a thick, well-built frame. He was very dynamic as a runner, with power, being able to break tackles, with speed, being able to pull away from guys. And you can get creative with how to utilize him in that regard. Quarterback draws, RPOs, read options, design runs. Honestly, I think the Eagles could incorporate Cole Payton in year 1 as a guy who can have a Taysom Hill package. And as a thrower of the football, his base is wide. He can rip it. The throwing mechanics, it's kind of like a shot put. He throws over the top, but he can drive the ball to the opposite hash. And at times, when the pocket would get muddied, he was able to deliver some pristine throws, even though the pocket was not pristine. And his testing numbers, 4.56, 40-yard dash. The hands, 10 and a quarter. So this is another unique athlete that the Eagles are drafting here as part of this 2026 class. I'm going to give this grade a B grade. Not an A, although I do like the value. Some people thought that he was the 3rd best quarterback in this class, and he could have gone in round 3 or round 4. Eagles get him in round 5. A pick that I really like is Micah Morris, the Georgia guard. He's 6'5 and a quarter, 334 pounds. He was a very highly touted recruit coming out of high school, and he had a bunch of options for where he could go to some of the best college football programs across the country. He goes to Georgia, and they were frustrated with him. He was out of shape at times. At times, he had a bunch of false starts in practices and wasn't fully in it. And some people had concerns about his dedication to football. So he really didn't play a lot his first few years at Georgia. In 2024, he started 5 games at right guard for Tate Ratledge, who's a good player, was drafted last year. And then this past year, he started every game at the other guard spot for the Bulldogs. And at 6'5" and a quarter, 334 pounds, this is another one of those athletes who, when you see him, you say, wow. And he moves really well for his size. Whether he's moving defensive linemen or he's on a pull block where he can bulldoze you, he flashes fantastic power. One of the things that he has to work on, in addition to keeping his weight down, is that he lunges too often. So he will have to fix his posture a little bit. Hand usage can get a little bit wild from time to time. But Micah Morris, it's always fun to talk about these athletes. 5:09 40-yard dash at 6'5", 334. And another guy with a wingspan of 83.5 inches. This is an A grade. If he is engaged, if he is fully bought in, if he can team up with Jordan Davis to keep the weight down, he can be a starter in this league and a high-level starter. And last year we saw similar body type. The Eagles miss a guy like Mekhi Becton. So Saquon Barkley ran behind him a lot and ran for 2,000 yards. But also, Landon Dickerson might retire soon. It was important to get a player like this, and the value at 207 in round 6, I really like it. Our other sponsor for our draft grades video, our friends at Chubby's. And you think about where we are right now. I'm recording this show on April 25th.
I don't give a shit about them
Spring
goddamn
is
risky
here.
business ass
Summer
shorts,
is coming
dog.
up.
Maybe
If
somebody
you want
else do,
to
not me, nigga.
Spice up, enhance your wardrobe. Make sure you do it with Chubby's.
Man.
And you can with our code Chat Sports and waiting for the Eagles to at some point draft a safety in this draft.
Are you
Finally-
fucking serious? Where's the picks? Where are the picks? This is a fucking tackle. You might just drafted a fucking linebacker like Isaiah Simmons to convert him to safety. Like, what the
in
fuck is
round
this?
7 at 240.
Oh, yeah, 6 yard. Hell, that nigga should got this goddamn degree, dog.
Linebacker. Started his college career at North Dakota State. Back
Hell
a couple of
no.
years ago, he led FCS in interceptions and interception yards. A couple of years ago, he made the switch to linebacker, and he is at his best when he's around the line of scrimmage.
What the hell? I swear to God, on my soul, I never knew he was a linebacker. I just was talking shit. What? That is crazy. Yo, the irony's insane, dog. Ain't no clothes gonna be wrinkled out this motherfucker.
Or he made the switch to safety, from linebacker. But those instincts of being around the line of scrimmage is what helps him kind of thrive there. So he's got an interesting body type. He has dealt with a variety of injuries, including a torn Achilles a few years ago. So he's missed some time. He played for Texas Tech this past year. That defense was really good. They crushed it in the transfer portal. They had a lot of money out there in that part of Texas to spend money on players like him and David Bailey and Romello Height. Former linebacker, the background shows up with his chops and run support. He's a really good run defender. He lacks elite length, but he makes up for it with really good ball skills. That showed up even as a linebacker at North Dakota State. It showed up as a safety at North Dakota State. And at Texas Tech, he displayed those ball skills as well. He's a limited athlete. He did not run the 40-yard dash at the combine. I'm not sure why, but he's not that fast. He's not that explosive, but he's a steady, heady player. This is a B- grade. And a reason why it's a B- grade, there were really good safeties who kept falling in this draft, and I was shocked that Howie didn't draft one of those safeties. But it kind of tells me that Howie wasn't in love with the safety class. Maybe they sign one in free agency. Maybe they trade for one as well. The last pick that the Eagles made in this draft is one of the more intriguing, fascinating picks that we will ever see. Or second to last pick. And it's one of the picks that just makes you sit back and say, Howie Roseman is built different. Howie Roseman in the pre-draft process just has a different feel and operates differently than any other general manager in the NFL. They took Jordan Mailata back in 2018 by way of the International Pathway Program.
Hey, I thought it was cool as hell I think this dude's gonna be a beast, and I'll tell you why. They was on the phone and like I don't know if they call it the war room, whatever you want to call it. And he was on the phone with Clint Hurts. I think that's his name. And he was happy as hell. I know for a fact he gonna be a beast. If you got a great relationship with your D-line coach, oh hell, it's on. It's over.
He had never played football before. They saw his rugby tape. Jeff Stoutland went to Australia, and they're like, this guy can be a great offensive tackle. So what do they do here? They take a defensive tackle out of Nigeria by way of the International Pathway Program, who has never played football before, but is one of the best athletes in the world. That's not even a hyperbolic statement. He is nearly 6'5", 306 pounds.
Imagine if this dude ends up being like fucking Reggie White. Because Reggie White was like damn near 300 pounds. So was TJ Watt. Bro. We might have like a second coming of Reggie White or fucking TJ Watt. Dude, this is insane. Because there's no way in the hell, like, let's look at it like this, right? And I kind of said it before, like about 30 minutes ago. Jordan Davis, he got that big-ass contract. He ain't going nowhere. You're going to re-sign Jalen Carter, I would hope, to a big-ass contract. Then you got Moro Jones behind him. I don't see a future for him at DT. But he turns out really good, and he know how to play. Put him on the edge, it's a fucking wrap. He's a mismatch, dog. He's a mismatch. It's fucking over. Put him on the other side, oh hell nah, it's fucking wraps, dog.
Is Uar Bernard. Hails from Nigeria, has been training in Florida in the pre-draft process. There was an NFL combine back a few weeks ago for some international prospects, and he absolutely killed it. Physically gifted, explosive prospect who is filled with untapped potential. He does display stiffness at times despite the power and the athleticism. There was a trainer working with him in the pre-draft who said he's one of the most explosive athletes I've ever seen. Obviously, he's never played competitive football, so he will need a lot of development. But hear me out. He is 6'4", 306 pounds. 4.66 40-yard dash at 306 pounds.
God
He's got
damn.
6-pack, 8-pack abs. He had a 10-foot broad jump, a 39-inch vertical, 31 reps of 225 pounds on the bench, and his wingspan is...
Hey, and the crazy shit is his numbers is comparable to Myles Garrett, who's the best defensive player in the league right now.
Similar to Markel Bell and some of these other players in this draft who just have a lot of length to them, which for a defensive lineman is very important. Why did Ruben Bain fall? Some teams didn't like the lack of arm length. Well, Uar Bernard.
He didn't really even fall as far as I thought he was. I was surprised the Buccaneers took a gamble on him in the first round. He didn't even fall that much to be like what he was like right before 15, I guess. He didn't fall that far.
Has that with those long arms. One of the cool things about this pick is because it's by way of the International Pathway Program, he doesn't count toward the Eagles' 53-man roster. And so if the Eagles, they're probably going to do this, cut him and he doesn't make the 53, they could stash him on the practice squad and he doesn't have to go through waivers because of the IPP, the International Pathway Program. Clint Hurt, Vic Fangio are going to have a lot of fun in trying to tap into the potential here with Uar Bernard and maximize him as a player. And down the road, the sky is the limit. He is very unfamiliar with football, so it's going to take him a little while to learn the nuances of it, moves, scheme, feel, and just becoming a football player because he's from Nigeria. They don't have professional football there. But this is a multi-year play like Jordan Mailata, and we saw that Mailata has turned into one of the best left tackles in Eagles history and one of the best left tackles in the National Football League. The final pick for the Eagles in round 7, 252, they made a trade with the Rams to get the Uar Bernard pick, and then this pick right here, these were back-to-back selections, 251, 252, Keyshawn James Newby. He is an older player, 6'2", 238 pounds, an edge rusher, so he's also a little bit of a lighter player, does not have a lot of play strength. If he's going to make an NFL roster, it's going to be because he wins with twitch, bend, speed, and explosiveness. off the edge. And he was in college for a long time. Montana Tech at first, and then he went to Idaho and then New Mexico. The last 2 years, he was wildly productive. At Idaho, FCS, All-American, 14.5 TFLs, 10.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass breakup. This past year, he had 15 TFLs, 9 sacks, and 74 pressures. When you're an edge rusher who's under 240 pounds, you gotta win with speed and a pass rush arsenal. That's gonna be key for Keyshawn James Newby. This is a B grade. It's at the end of the 7th round. Take a flyer on a player who plays an important position and trying to get after the quarterback. And he's got some good players to learn from on this roster, especially after that trade for Jonathan Grenard, which also adds to my overall Eagles draft grade. I like the players. I like the value.
Shit was not no fucking
There were no reaches here for Howie Roseman. Other teams across the NFL were reaching like crazy. Plus, the Eagles got a book and edge rusher during this draft and making that trade for Jonathan Grenard. So I'm giving Howie and the Eagles an A grade. And that's really the consensus all across the board, is that the Eagles, once again, didn't do anything crazy, but Howie Roseman was aggressive. He made more trades. He compiled assets. When there was a player like Mekhi Lemon he wanted to go up and get, he got his guy, and they just operated in a very smart way. And the Uar Bernard pick is just icing on the cake. Had him going to the Eagles in my final mock. So that is my grade. And my grades individually for all those players. For this Eagles 2026 draft class, grade this Eagles draft class. A, B, C, D, or F. Comment down below and let me know what you think.
What the fuck? What's the undrafted free agents? I sat up there and watched this whole shit, thinking it's gonna be the undrafted. There we go.
Hey, my treat today.
Hey, we ain't playing the piano today. I got the day off tomorrow, so I'll play it tomorrow.
You're stuck in the past. Unlike me. You look rad.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide.
Totally.
This is the garden hose nozzle my team spent 3 years building.
Nozzle
Because
juice,
every
my
pressure
friend.
washer on
That
the
shit
market
sounds so
is less-
stupid. David Spade crazy, yeah. Hey, this shit fucking ass. Generic
Philadelphia
ass
Eagles
beat.
UDFA tracker is coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles now on.
Bro look like he about to go fucking snipe out Matt Damon from from one of the Bourne movies and shit. Bro, like he try to remain like inconspicuous in a damn a crowded ass airport. He try to fuck his ass up. He hasn't gone to the bathroom yet. I have to wait. TSA is checking him. I can't go nowhere near. Can't end up on a no-fly list. Just keep an eye on him. Yes, sir. Nigga look like he Angelina Jolie new boyfriend and shit. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Keep a low profile, that motherfucker. Oh shit, I cracked myself up, man.
On this Sunday in the aftermath of the 2026 NFL Draft. Last night we put up our Eagles draft grade video going through every single selection with an overall grade as well. Be sure to check that video out. And now after the draft, we take a look at the undrafted free agents who the Eagles have signed as part of their 90-man roster. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you're a diehard Eagles fan. I know a lot of you watching out there fit that category. We're bringing you elite Eagles coverage every single day. We crushed it during the NFL Draft. We're closing in on 150,000 subscribers. So let's get there, go Birds, and hit that sub button. UDFA number 1, obviously it's another International Pathway Program player. And it's just fascinating how
Edge, what the fuck? He looks small as hell.
And the development of players.
The Edge is being on a fucking.
The Eagles have added Joshua Wiru to the roster. He is an edge rusher. That's how the Eagles are categorizing him, from Kenya. And this is another fantastic athlete who has a rugby background like Jordan Mailata. Of course, they wanted to develop Jordan Mailata as an offensive tackle. They're going to develop Joshua Wiru as an edge rusher. Uar Bernard is being listed as a defensive tackle. He hails from Nigeria, one of the more athletic freaks in the entire draft class. And for Wiru, he is 6'4", 244 pounds. And like Uar Bernard, he's coming off elite athletic testing results at the HBCU showcase, whereas Uar Bernard was at the IPP NFL Combine. And Weeru looked very fluid and explosive in those drills. The athletic ability is there, but he hasn't worked in pads before. So when you think of Uar Bernard, he doesn't have a football background at all. He's just a freak show athlete. Weeru at least has played rugby and a contact sport. What is neat about this is that every team across the NFL can hold on to 2 international pathway players without accounting toward the roster.
I did. That's what I was about to
if
say.
they
It's
get cut
the same
and they don't
obvious
make
shit
the
he said in the last
53,
video we did.
They don't have to go through waivers. The Eagles can take their time developing those players on the practice squad.
I'm gonna
while
take my
occupying other
time.
spots on the
Show that
Eagles
around
roster.
all
UDFA
around.
number 2,
Gotta
Rocco
take
Underwood,
it
a long
slow.
snapper out of Florida. The Eagles didn't have a long
Out of
snapper on their
control.
roster heading into the draft, so
Sexy
maybe they found one
touching.
here. He is 6'3", 231 pounds. He played in 50
Whoa,
career games with
whoa.
the Gators. Probably the most sought after and most well-known UDFA that the Eagles have signed after the draft is Alabama linebacker Deontay Lawson. I'm very surprised that he did not get taken in this draft. He's a terrific player, really good athlete, team captain for Alabama. And there were some people who were calling him the next Reuben Foster when he was playing for the Crimson Tide. When Reuben Foster was playing for Alabama, he was arguably the best linebacker in college football. It didn't work out for him at the NFL level because he kept getting in trouble. But for Deontay Lawson, the game is there, the character is there. He has really good instincts and sniffing out plays against the run. He can hold up solid in coverage. He's nearly 6'3", 224 pounds. So he's a little bit of a lighter linebacker with the more slender.
If we convert him to edge, because the way the Eagles work the defense, we don't use a lot of line. Like all the linebackers that we use in some capacity, they start. We convert him to edge, and then maybe because Vince would like to have guys drop back and cover from time to time. He might be a cheat code, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe he can add some weight there. This past year for Alabama, 89 tackles, 4.5 TFLs, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. This is a player with a lot of pedigree as well. And so often Howie Roseman likes to sign players in free agency who were first, second, third round picks because of that aforementioned pedigree.
I'm reading this shit. It says not a huge liability against the runner patch. Is not as impactful given his talent. Could face real durability issues in the NFL. All this shit is hypotheticals. All this shit is hearsay. It's nothing even like definitive as to why he's like didn't get drafted or why he wasn't like. Come on now.
For Lawson here, former 5-star recruit, 2-time team captain with plenty of SEC experience, not a huge liability against the run or the pass. He's a very steady player, and he could face durability issues at the NFL level because that was a little bit of an issue. He was hurt a lot. That's another reason why he did not get drafted.
Oh, damn,
But the
never mind.
Eagles could use another special teams linebacker, developmental player at that spot to potentially make the 53, so look out for Deontay Lawson. More to UDFAs to get to, but Philadelphia Eagles now is presented by our great friends at Prize.
Damn,
Picks,
my friend.
the number one daily
My
fantasy
friend wouldn't
sports
fucking
app
steal money from
in
me.
North America. It makes the experience of watching
Scare me out of my
sports
shit,
so
dog.
much fun. And right now, there
No,
have
the
been
fuck
more
it
than
don't.
20 million.
Swear to God, as a
users
personal prize picks user, that motherfuckers gave me nothing but stress. I remember I was about to win like $200 goddamn dollars. Hold on. And then Lamar Jackson decided, after all this motherfucking time of throwing under 200, he decides the Bengals defense on Sunday Night Football, I think it was Thanksgiving, he decides to throw for, I'm like, man, fuck out of here. I was pissed off to the motherfucker, boy. Hell nah. I was mad as hell. Oh, shit.
a lineup on Prize Picks. That's why it's America's number one daily fantasy sports app.
Yeah, tell me
and
what's suck a dick.
billions of dollars have been paid out. As
Not
far as
to
the
me,
lineup
motherfucker.
Tonight, that sponsor
This
of
bullshit.
Philadelphia Eagles drafted. He is outside of Deontay Lawson, who I really like. Daquan Wright is a player who I thought was going to get drafted. He is a well-built tight end who really impressed me for Ole Miss last year, catching footballs in Lane Kiffin's offense, and he's got some good athleticism, some good physicality to his
good
game.
ass numbers.
He's
He got
6'3"
drafted.
and 3/4, 246 pounds. He can pick up yards after the catch. He was one of the better tight ends in that regard. 39 catches, 635 yards, 16.3 yards per catch. That is a very high number for a tight end. And on top of that, he also had 5 touchdowns. Of course, the Eagles drafting a tight end in the second round, and Eli Stowers, another fantastic athlete. Wright began his career at Virginia Tech, spent the last 2 seasons at Ole Miss, and his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. And in Charlie Weiss's offense last year, he was a production machine. Keep in mind the Eagles showed interest in Charlie Weiss Jr. when they were searching for an offensive coordinator. So with Wright, I think he's got the untapped potential and upside to develop into a really good pass-catching option, good athlete, uses his catch radius well. Sometimes he can lack technique and development in his route running at this stage. It's up to the Eagles coaching staff to work with him on that. As far as a safety, who the Eagles have added, they drafted a safety in the 7th round. And
What is Justin Timberlake looking at, nigga, boy?
Prior to that, North Dakota
Bro, like he
State,
should be like
and
one of
another
like
safety
Sean
the
William
Eagles
Scott
are
looking
signing
ass.
as an undrafted free agent.
Dude, where's my
Safety
bicycle
out of
looking ass?
Washington State, 5'10",
Dude, where my
181
scooter looking
pounds
ass?
For Washington State last year, 71 tackles, 3 TFLs, 8 pass breakups, and didn't have an interception, but 8 PBUs for a safety is pretty damn good. Occasionally, he'll come up and make some plays around the line of scrimmage. A Pro Football Focus overall grade of 81.4. So he played in 13 games in 2025, and he transferred to Washington State from South Dakota State, another one of those players in this NIL era, like a Cole Wisniewski and many others, who started off at a lower level of competition and then jumped up. Eagles also adding a guard as an undrafted free agent.
His face is crazy. If y'all know Jet off TikTok, why? I don't know why. Number one, I don't know why he would pose like that. Number two, they could have used a better. They could have did my guy Jaden Roberts, but much better than this shit. I forgot what old dude catchphrase is. Shit, I forgot. God damn. He be like, okay then. Like, I ain't gonna lie when I look at it. Oh, weak as hell, dog.
And another big school guy.
Yo, Grit's face that. Yo, I'm sorry. If he can't help it, it is what it is. But they could have did him better than that. I'm just saying. Like, come on now.
They love them, especially guys from Georgia and Alabama. Jaden.
Oh, thinking of a master plan, looking at it. Oh, yeah, the Grinch didn't stole Christmas. I did, motherfucking looking ass. Oh, I done filled out my application to be one of the Joker's henchmen and I got accepted head ass. Oh, I'm the nice version of 4 extra looking ass. Oh shit! I'm one of 4. I'm 4 extra protege looking ass. Oh shit! I got a plan to finally reveal the identity of Batman looking ass. Oh my god! I'm sorry.
Roberts, 23 years old, a redshirt senior from Houston, Texas, 6'5" and a quarter.
Is that like you was laughing at what I was doing?
So all of the offensive linemen who the Eagles have added are 340 pounds or more when you think of their draftees, in addition to Jaden Robert. Big prospect, played in 37 games with 25 starts during his career at Alabama.
Oh, I knew I was gonna get drafted. You hate motherfucker looking ass. He said, "No, I didn't get drafted, but I'm an undrafted free agent looking ass."
So he's got a lot of experience. I'd say that sometimes he doesn't play up to that size. Overall PFF grade of 69.5 last year, but he was a good pass blocker at 87.5. Run blocking, not great. That's where the lack of physical.
Oh, these niggas on some bullshit face ass.
Sometimes comes in when he doesn't play.
Oh, you see this nigga looking ass. I told you so, looking ass. Watch what I do, looking ass. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Shit. Oh, hell no, dog. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I can't breathe, dog. I cannot fucking breathe, dog. Oh, watch this head ass. His ass look like he like to climb on top of like some high ass like chimneys or bricks and shit and tell his sip like, hey, shh, watch this. And then you get his parent, man, get your ass up from up there. What the hell wrong with you? They'll make the same face when he told. He's like, I told you.
Up to that size. Got an invite, though, to the NFL Combine and only gave up 1 sack with 1 penalty. As far as Maximus Pooley, a DB out of Wofford, he's 5'11", 197 pounds, and his production was really solid last year for Wofford, of course, playing at that smaller school level, but 85 tackles, 2.5 TFLs, 10 pass breakups, and 5 interceptions. That stat line for a safety is very impressive. He started 34 games at Wofford and finished his college career with 189 tackles and a bunch of TFLs.
After 13 years, I did not expect to be acting like a girlfriend again, but here we are. Thank you, Blue Chew Gold. Blue Chew
So
Gold.
some motherfucking pills for what's her name is gonna make you act like just break up with the nigga there. Like, I don't get it.
Kapina Kushikin, a safety out of Ole Miss, being signed by the Eagles in
Bro
the
got that goddamn
post-draft
2001
process.
skateboarder
And
cut.
Howie Roseman, after the draft, when asked about the safety position, said we're
Instead of saying cool, be like, yeah, that's rad, dude. 3 Musketeer head ass. Red Baron pizza face ass.
probably incomplete there. My guess is that Howie might try to trade for a veteran safety out there, somebody like a Buda Baker or
Like he's just a camp
another
body.
player like Jesse Bates or something who could be on the chopping block by another.
Ain't no motherfucking way in the hell how he, like, you have to understand this. Jesse Bates is damn near the best safety in the fucking NFL. There's no way you're going to have to give up at least a 2nd round pick. You're like, nah, you have to you have to give us some change. You better off just re-signing signing Justice Simmons. That's probably a safe. There's no way in the hell you could trade for Jesse Bates. You wouldn't even have a cap for. You have to pay him like he's arguably the best safety in the NFL. You're not gonna him and Kyle Hamilton are like, no.
Team 5'9", So for Kapina Kushikin, he's a little bit smaller, 189 pounds, 55 tackles, 6 pass breakups, a pick, 1 forced fumble, a Pro Football Focus overall grade of 71.9 last year for a team that, of course, made a deep run in the college football playoff, transferred to Ole Miss from Washington State, where he played 25 games, and that interception that he had on top of the 55 total tackles. Not great ball production there, and he's a smaller player, but maybe he can carve out a role in the practice squad or somebody who can eventually give Philadelphia a special teams impact. And so we run through the UDFA tracker here. Joshua Wiru.
Ah, that shit hurt it. Yeah. That's it. I'm gonna look at the last press conference, and then I'm out of here. We actually had outside of not being able to play the piano, we actually had a pretty 1934. Watch, okay.
And I feel like every time you take those pictures and like someone shows them, they're like, give a face. You're like, on purpose.
You purposely pause it on the bad part.
Nick and I have this theory that is this gonna be like in the transcript when we write this? It's gonna be off the record. We have this theory that like anytime you guys try to take a picture of us, it's like let me look at 5 pictures, let me find them in the most awkward place, and then put it down there. It'll be like this. I'll be like, come on. Now he took that picture. Okay, all right, we're a little slap happy. It's been a while. What do we got?
When you traded down, you got the extra picks. Was that with Umar in mind? Did you want to secure that player?
Yeah, we did. You know, it was funny. It was when we were doing the trade with Minnesota yesterday, adding in that 7th this year was important. We tried to get in a couple trades that we were discussing. We wanted to take the chance on the kid. Obviously, we've had great success with that program. We spent a lot of time with him. Coach Hurt went down there and spent the day with him, worked him out. You know, just for us, it was a passion project. You know, obviously, he got a lot of tools in his body. Understand it's going to take time. You know, it's going to take a lot of time here, but, you know, it's pretty cool. And it's just, you know, we spent a lot of time talking about unusual, you know, and certainly unusual with that guy. So
When's the first time you heard his name, and what was the process like trying to figure out who he was and what he could do?
I think we found out his name. Our scouts, we focused on the IPP after the combine a little bit in that spot, and we have a dedicated scout to that. And they gave us the heads up on him, and then we watched the workout, and you saw the testing numbers. And then Coach Hurt went down there and worked him out. The workouts continued to come in, and we continued to see him work out more and more. You know, I think what's cool is we're also going to sign Weeru from that program, from that IPP program. So we're going to bring both of them here, which is really cool, you know, for them to be together. They worked out together. They were doing all their training together, and he's another guy who's got unique traits in his body. And so we signed both those guys.
How satisfied are you with your safety room after this draft?
You know, I think, again, you go into this
Good-ass
understanding
question.
that you're going to come out of it with not everything perfect, but probably have a different vision of our safety room than maybe, you know, it is publicly. But again, you know, that'll all sort itself out. We don't play our first game till September at every position. You know, we got to see what we have. And if we went into the draft and we filled every hole, we probably wouldn't have had a good draft, you know, and it's yet to remain to be seen if we even had a good draft. You know, we'll see. Here we got time to judge it. But understood that we couldn't get everything we wanted. At any position, very comfortable where we are as a football team right now, and understanding that there's more work to be done.
If I could ask both of you guys about all the additions, offensive skill guys, the 3 receivers you signed or acquired, the one you drafted and the tight end you drafted. You've added a lot of skill guys to that offense, and kind of what you've added. Just what do you feel like you've added with those guys?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, obviously we got to get these guys on the grass.
Ruben, what kind of dumbass Ruben? You know, be asked a solid question. That question was fucking terrible. Maybe it was just worded the wrong way, but I don't know. Something about that question seemed bare bones and basic as fuck. That was not a good question at all.
Everyone we signed, you know, I tell our players all the time, there's no allocation draft in the National Football League. You know, everyone that is on this team, we've chosen. We've chosen because we have a level of like of their skill set of the person. And so from that perspective, you know, we brought all those guys in because we thought that they can do some things for our team, but...
Hey, whoever the fuck is filming with they little ass, remember goddamn Harlem Nights, like, don't shoot that little motherfucker no more. Literally and metaphorically speaking, don't shoot put that little motherfucker down. Like, goddamn, move your ass to the middle of the fucking thing so us to see a little goofy ass phone. Nigga, don't ever see what the goddamn kind of tabs you on, motherfucker.
We haven't had one practice on the
Shit
field
distracted
yet.
as hell.
Yet to be seen how it all comes together.
How the gap between 68 and 178 was, the very longest since at least you first named you. I'm just curious what that time period was like for you and Treat.
I don't know. How did I treat it?
You good energy.
Always, brother.
Good talk back and forth, everything.
Yeah, it was long. You know, I think it was daunting when, you know, John Ferrari's in the back of the room always, and he'd be like, we get the 9th player. And, you know, after we picked at 68, he goes, we get the 110th next player. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's going to be a long time. You know, and I think for us, it was just understanding that there were good players on the board. And I think this is how we started the day, because we started today with a passion meeting from our scouts. And there's a lot of guys on that. You know, there's a lot of guys that we want to draft on day 3 and always looking for more picks. But I think when we look at it from a big picture perspective, you know, something that I said was, yeah, it hurt for those hours. I don't know what those hours were, you know, last night when we picked whatever time that was to when we picked today. It didn't feel great. But the most important thing is how we feel each weekend coming home from those games. And so some of the things that we did in giving up those picks, they were to make us the best possible team during the season. And so, obviously, you're giving up some players there. You're giving up players. You're at those picks. You're going, this is who I pick at that guy. He's pretty good. I like that. I'd be excited about that. But we can't lose sight of the guys that we brought in with those picks. And we expect those guys that we traded up for, that we traded for, to make a big difference on our football team. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for difference makers, and we feel like we got the opportunity to get them. They cost, for sure. It wasn't cheap to get them, but we believe they'll be worth it.
As a follow-up to that, when you make the trade on Thursday, you don't know who's going to be there in the fourth round. You don't know even who a 23 would be. Seeing how it all played out, does it affect the way you view the trade? Does it fortify the way you view the trade?
Yeah, I don't really play a lot of what ifs. My mind doesn't really work like that. I would just say feel really good about the decision we made to trade up for Mekhi. Feel really good about the decision we made to bring in JG here, John here to Philly. Obviously, it's got to play out. I understand that. There's no guarantee about anything, but definitely no regrets. And again, that being said, we have those picks. Would have been really excited about those picks. The players that we would have taken at those picks would have been excited to have those guys and talk about them. But just feel like the impact that we could get from the decisions we made could really push us forward in a positive way.
Why was Cole Payton someone you targeted in the fifth round? What do you like about what he brings to the table?
Yeah, really, really athletic. Really good with the ball in his hands, in the quarterback run game. Made great decisions with the football, accurate passer, as you know, 72% last year as a starter. And you can't be that unless you're making good, accurate throws and going the right place with the ball. But there's some wild plays on his tape that are really impressive. I think I charted like 4 times he jumped over somebody or wrote down a bunch of times. He's the best athlete on the field, big, strong. Really excited about him.
Are you open to define?
Damn.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Get
Who's almighty, that motherfucker?
acclimated here and have a chance for that next weekend at rookie minicamp. Learning the playbook, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Why a quarterback? You already have a pretty crowded quarterback room, so what went into that decision?
Yeah, really, as we got into the fifth round, late in the fifth round, almost the sixth round, the board kind of played itself out that way. And he was the highest guy on the board. And obviously it's an important position. We feel really good about the 3 quarterbacks that are here. We plan to have them here. We're excited to have all those 3 guys here. This has nothing to do with them. It was about staying true to the process that we were going into and taking the best player available, obviously in an important position. And, we'll let it play out. We've talked about it, or we're open to carrying 4 quarterbacks for sure. When you talk about, if you talk about it being the most important position in sports and you have 4 good ones, why wouldn't you keep them? It's no different than when we keep 11 offensive linemen because we think we have a good offensive lineman or extra defensive lineman. So, for us, if we weren't going to take him just because of what we had at a position right now, it didn't really seem to make sense. It wasn't really consistent with our philosophy. And so we took the player.
And I know you got to be your position coach, you won't be your position coach, obviously, but what's sort of your experience coaching guys who don't have football playing experience at this position?
Yeah,
What do you envision that kind of looking like?
just that, I think that we had this experience with, obviously, the Eagles have had it with Jordan. I was able to be around Mo Alley Cox, who was coming from basketball. Just kind of a blank slate that you're able to teach things to and really look forward to that, right? To teaching them the game, to teaching them the fundamentals of the game, to teaching them the situations that we go through, right? And the fundamentals are even more basic than to start things off. And so just that, that whole process of learning the game, learning what it takes to be on a football team, all the different things that come with it. So it's an exciting thing to be a part of. And, I know with the guys in this locker room and the people that we have here, that he's going to have a great experience as far as his football experience. So let's just looking to develop him and continue to get him better.
Enjoyed your performance. What do you like about him?
Yeah, there's a lot to like about him. He's got great size. All his testing is through the roof. He's started every game for Georgia this year. He's got incredible experience playing in the SEC. He's got all the ability, and now he's got to apply that, as he gets an opportunity to come here. So
Is this man chewing gum and just drunk water at the same time? I don't get how that, okay.
another guy just, as we were going through it, stood out on our board for where we were, and obviously in an important position, and so we took him.
I know the roster acquisition is not finished yet, but if you look at these past few months, what do you think you've accomplished, and how do you think you've done this offseason?
Yeah, I think that I probably need to get some perspective on Zach, on that question, Zach, to answer that question accurately. This weekend goes fast, and I think that if we're really staying true to the process, we're not getting into what are we looking for, what do we need, and we're just staying true to the process of the draft. And so I'll take some time to reflect on that and put together a plan of how to address other things. And again, our work isn't done. We're not going on vacation here. We're going to do whatever we can to put the best possible team forward in September, and then obviously, so it's playing deep into January and hopefully February.
I know you're not drafting players for scheme, but the first 2 picks, Mekhi and Eli, as you're like envisioning them and what they're going to look like, how much was Sean's offense a part of that vision?
Yeah, you talk about you're not drafting guys for scheme, but you're really drafting guys based on a bunch of factors. You're drafting because you like the tape. You're drafting because the numbers match up. You're drafting because it's a scheme fit. You're drafting because they have good character. You're drafting also because the vision of the player fits of what we're doing, and you're drafting because they have good medical, right? And so you're putting all those factors together, and you're trying to come up with a draft board. And so certainly, like, I could like a player, but if we have a conversation with the coaches and there's no vision for that player, it's not going to work out very well. So everything we do is alignment and making sure we're making good decisions that make sense, that can get the best out of the player. Because I'm not going to look good, Nick's not going to look good if there's no alignment.
Nick, how's the installation of a new offense going at this stage versus other times that you've had new offensive coordinators and scheme changes?
Yeah, I think John's doing a great job. We've only had the players in here for a week. It was a good start to meetings. And so I think we're in a good spot, good progress, and I like where we are right now.
I spoke to Kai yesterday, talked a little bit about his first year at USC. He wasn't getting on the field as a receiver, played a little bit of cornerback, but ultimately decided to stay there. When you are, looking at that year in the context of his career there, I guess what did you learn from that, from what you uncovered? Not necessarily about his on-field performance, but like who he is as a person.
One, he's got tremendous confidence in his own abilities. I think that that, and that adversity wasn't going to deter him from going forward in achieving his goals. He wanted to do it there. He's a very determined guy. He's got great work ethic. He loves football, and I think all those things play out when you see stories like that.
Don't want him to get lost in the shuffle. Keyshawn, I think, just what did you like about him late in the draft?
He can rush. I think that when you turn on the tape and you see him in must-pass situations, he's able to get off the ball. He can bend. He's got production as a rusher. And so, obviously, you're looking for traits late in the draft. And that was one of the reasons we wanted to get a bunch of picks there at the end, because we had a bunch of guys that we wanted to take. I mean, even at the end, we were sitting there going, can we try to get a couple more picks, because there were some guys that we wanted to get. So, again, he's going to have to show it here, but that's why we liked him.
When you look at guys that you've hit with in late rounds, like Jordan, Morrow, Joe, and everything,
that speaks value to him as a GM, because I did notice that they was taking a lot of like 6th, 7th round picks. And I'm like, why the hell they keep doing it? And the fact that he explained that, it was actually guys that he liked that was going to, potentially could fall to that area. That speaks value to him as a GM to be able to see the vision. Now, whether or not they're going to be productive here as an Eagle, man, we'll see. But it speaks values, man.
Like looking at who to pick in those late rounds, is there a common theme and stuff? Is it just thinking outside the box?
There's really two kinds of players that hit late when we study it. There's guys that have unique traits, and I think when you talk about Jordan and Morrow, those are those guys. And then there are just guys that, are just really good players, and you see that through production. You see that through instincts. Everything in life revolves around instincts, no matter what you're doing, no matter what field you're in. Speaking from someone who's never done anything else other than this in his life, but and so I think that you see that in a player like Reed. You see that in a 7th round pick like Jalen Mills. And those guys, they just have a great.
He was a 7th round pick. Damn.
And so I think that if you look at our picks in the 7th, you'll see some unique traits, right? Obviously, Uar, and then you'll see just really good players like Cole. And so that's really the two groups of players we're looking for in the
Do you enjoy the 7th?
Just one with this,
really instinctive. He's got great ball skills. He's a physical player, really, really good physical player. And, obviously there's some reminder of a guy we won a Super Bowl with. Obviously those are tough shoes to fill. But when you watched him, you saw some of the things you liked on Reed. That would be an unbelievable outcome, unbelievable career that Reed had, missed that guy for sure. But that's some of the things that we saw.
Do you enjoy the 7th round more than the other rounds, just because it's such the hit rate is so low, so it kind of.
Ruben, what the fuck is up with this questioning today, dog? Your question's ass today. The questions is ass today. You ain't get your coffee this morning, dog? Like what's up, man? You ain't drink your little 5-hour energy, bro? Cause the questions ain't questioning, dog. If you know what I'm saying? Like, what I say ain't making sense, but it makes sense. Like,
it just seems like you.
No, I like when there's great players and we get a chance to pick them first.
It's a horrible ass question. Who the fuck be like, let me go to the 7th round to get the bod. But that's like asking the motherfucker, what do you like best? When you first open a bag of chips, or then like when there's crumbs and it's about to be finished? Nigga, obviously when I first open a bag of chips, like what the hell? Like, dog, you buggy, dog.
Of chaos after the draft and then on the clock. And it's obviously, you know, it's a different point in the draft, you know. So no, I like every part about the draft.
Your background in offense, obviously, it's been a long time since you've had like this volume of young offensive players up through the draft. How do you approach getting these guys ready to play? Because you haven't had to play young guys in offense in a while.
Yeah, similar. You know, we're still gonna be obsessive about the detail of the fundamentals of situational football, the things that require mastering the things that require no talent. You know, those are the big parts of the detail portion of it, and then the toughness portion of it, just teaching them what is required from us as far as mental toughness, the effort, relentless effort, you know, the physical toughness, and then just teaching these guys how to play
You
together.
said physical toughness
it's still
twice.
gonna go
What the
back.
fuck? Come on,
You know,
Sirianni.
from
Come on now.
Coaching high school, college,
Come on, Nick.
pro, young guys that are in it, old guys that have been in it, but it's going to still be down to those.
He said,
basic
"Coach, we
things,
covered the spread. It's just for the
toughness,
damn
detail
games."
together. So we'll
Tony
start
off
off,
for
show them
Blue Chips.
exactly, you know, and tell them exactly what is required from me. I'll show them what it looks like, and I'll be relentless in the approach of keeping that standard.
My man, you could have summed that shit up in about 1 or 2 sentences. You basically saying the same shit. So like, yeah, so we're gonna be obsessive over the details. Okay, we going somewhere, you know. So this is how I'm gonna be obsessed over the details. We're gonna be obsessed. So like the base word of obsessed, and they're gonna be if to try to add a feeling of emphasis. Nigga, just say. You know, we're going to be obsessed over the details. I like how you said that, you know, we're going to teach you things that talent can't, you know, that has nothing to do with talent, which is the fundamentals. And that's it. You get this 4 or 5 sentence shit. Even Howard looking at your ass. Like, nigga, like, wrap it up. The fuck? Like, come on, dog.
Andrew.
How do you think Lemon and how do you think Lemon and
He said,
Stout,
did I do good? No, the fuck you didn't.
guys who worked a lot of middle field as a slot and the tight end are going to help the offense as works with under center and play action. And
Yeah.
areas where you guys kind of didn't do that as much previously.
Yeah, I think that you know, obviously both these guys are extremely quick in and out of the break. You know, and then you know, Eli is very unusual as far as his size and his catch radius. Makai, you know, being able to separate at the top of the route and the things that he can do after the catch. And there's different ways to be able to get them the football in the drop back game and the play action game. We want to be able to exploit every part of the field, deep, intermediate, in the middle, outside the numbers. And these guys will help us do that.
When it comes to the players in day 3 who have the traits, obviously the next part of that is the developmental program. How much has that changed and been altered throughout the course of your time here, Howard?
We're constantly evolving the things that we do. You know, we're looking at.
This question makes no fucking sense. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. I got other shit to do. So I'm going to do that. And that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be playing the piano. If we have time to react to shit, we'll do that. If not, I'll see y'all when I see you. Bye-bye. All right, I gotta go. Bye! Fuck.